Hello, sir. Nice to meet you.
Very well. Very good.
It's a long way to go for a football match. But for the Prime Minister David Cameron, accompanied by former England player Michael Owen, it was a chance to send home from Helmand the message that British troops and Afghan forces are on the winning side, albeit in a fixture that's gone on rather longer than anyone anticipated. While few would wish to argue with this referee, Mr Cameron's comments on his annual Christmas visit to the troops could be seen as a bit of an own goal.
Where's home for you?
With the focus now firmly on the end of this long war, the Prime Minister was asked after breakfast at Camp Bastion if British forces would come home with mission accomplished. Yes, he said, and that the mission was to provide a basic level of security so the country couldn't be a haven for terror when British combat troops leave by the end of 2014.
It's right for our forces, it's right for our country, so I'm proud that we made that promise and have kept that promise, and I think our troops can leave with their heads held high over a job very well done.
But using the phrase mission accomplished is something politicians have long been wary of, ever since George Bush prematurely declared America's mission in Iraq done, just before the killing began in earnest. So what was the UK's mission in Afghanistan? Well, its stated aim when it began in 2001 was to ensure security after the 9/11 attacks and hunt down Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda. Bin Laden is dead, but Al-Qaeda lives on elsewhere. International forces were also tasked with eradicating the poppy harvest and limiting the growth of drugs. But there was a bumper harvest this year. Nation building was another aim, including education for girls and more rights for women. More girls are in school, but women's rights in Afghanistan remain fragile. So, was the Prime Minister right to say mission accomplished?
I think he's right in a tactical sense. The troops can be proud of what they've achieved on the ground. They've done the best they can in a difficult set of circumstances. Whether the mission will be accomplished strategically is a totally different question, because we're leaving Afghanistan as a state that's got a fighting chance of survival in its present form, not guaranteed. And whether it's a success or not is something we now can't do very much about one way or the other.
All that will be up to the Afghans themselves, still facing a bloody insurgency. And the Afghan President Hamid Karzai didn't think it was mission accomplished when he spoke to the BBC just 2 months ago.
On security front, the entire NATO exercise was one that caused Afghanistan a lot of suffering and a lot of loss of life, and no gains because the country is not secure.
What British troops hand over at the end of next year may still be a war rather than a peace, even as they prepare to take their leave. Caroline Wyatt, BBC News.